What the hell? Who dropped this shit? Who dropped that fucking tower? What the hell's going on here? Okay, alright, I'm back. This time it's gonna be a little different from last time. I'm gonna say straight up, I did not expect the reception I got for my last video to be anything like it was. Holy fuck, y'all showed up. Like, round of applause, positive. As you can see, I'm a changed man. I'm a different man. Yeah. I'm here, and I'm ready to go. Okay, so before I start this video, I need to get some shit off my chest. Actually, get some shit off my chest will come later in the video, but I need to lay some groundwork here. So after my video, the last time on racism in South African esports, I was taken by the response I got. I thought I was gonna have hate mail, death threats, the whole shebang. Like, I thought it was gonna be bad. But man, oh man, people showed up, got like 700 views on my video, 40 likes on the tweets. I had people reaching out to me, like friends outside of esports, messaging me and being like they watched this video. It was like really resonated. I mean, I had so many people of color in the scene message me and be like, yo, they can resonate with my experiences and shit. And it was moving. It was genuinely moving. I want to put a little tidbit out there for the fucking racists. As you can see my demeanor today, I feel sorry for you motherfuckers. If you guys really had an issue with me, that was the time to stop me, because then I came in, I was vulnerable, I was sharing my experiences, I was down, I was fucking defeated, man. But now, something's changed. Now, the reason I'm making this video, right now, I've actually been meaning to make the second part of this video, or continuations of these videos, for a long time now, because, like, yo, I had a lot of thoughts after my last one was finished. I think for a while I really wanted to make one. I was even angrier, like thinking about other racist experiences and things. But now I feel kind of rushed. I was waiting for some things as well, so I'm not actually making this video in the time I wanted to, because I there's a clock now for me, which is behind the scenes things. But also, like, now, like, I had 100 ideas to make this video. I genuinely had 100 ideas. I can pull up my notes here for you guys, and you can see all the skits I written out and shit. But I'm not gonna go with any of that shit today, because, you know, I never saw this. I never saw this after I made my last video, in the time I was thinking about it and shit. But something in the air has changed. And Snare said this to me, and I never understood what he said, because at that time I was mad still after my last video and shit. But he's right. That video is part of what's changing, actually. If I look at the general demeanor of how people of color, like, acting in the scene, how they feeling belonging in the scene, how they being vocal. Not just people of color as well. Like, if I look at a lot of, you know, my white brethren out here, like, I'm calling them my brethren, my bratan, because they're out here fighting the same shit for me. I mean, if you go into the comment sections of the Dota 2 SA, for example, there's a lot of people talking. Darren's gonna be upset with me because I flamed him in the last video because I said otherwise, but it is what it is. Me and him actually, so some feedback from, I mean, some things that aspired after the last video. I actually spoke to Darren after that. We had a good, honest chat. Like, we spoke about things, we shook hands, we moved on, because, you know, we both had honest conversations to be had, which is pretty great, honestly, that he reached out to me. Even though he was upset, he still reached out to have that conversation. Not as many people in my last video that I mentioned actually did, which is surprising, but the good thing is a lot of others did. So yeah, I mean, even on Twitter and shit, like, I don't feel like, obviously we're the minority, you know, us people of color, but man, oh man, things is changing. Our allies are there, and we out here, and I think, like, it's finally getting to my head now for the first time that we actually belong in the scene. And it's crazy to think so, because, like, before, I mean, I've been in the scene for a long time now, 3 years in the fucking shits of SA Dota 2, and for a long time it's like, okay, you know, you keep your conversations about race, you keep your conversations about injustice. I mean, not that I haven't been a vocal person, but I don't think I understood the depth of the shit we're dealing with, and I don't think I had what it took to challenge it when I came in. I mean, initially I didn't come in as like some fucking hothead shouting about racism. I just came in to cast Dota 2. But this is where privilege comes in. Like, just because I got this color skin, I can't just do that, right? I have to be out here talking about this shit. Not my choice. I would also like to just, you know, tentatively lick that VS Gaming scrotum the way my white peers can, but I can't because, like, I can't do it guilt-free. Let's just say that. So yeah, my goals for now, for proceeding forward with these conversations about racism and injustices in the scene stem from just me wanting to see the next generation not go through the shit every single person of color has to deal with right now in the scene. And let me tell you, it's a mound of shit, motherfuckers. It's wild in out here. Okay, all right. But let's get into some good content here. Okay, so for a while I was also mad, really mad, and this is the common notion that SA Dota 2 is the worst. It's the, think about the worst thing ever, like Arsenal playing football, and SA Dota 2 is worse than that shit, right? And that's the common fucking belief in the scene. And I have to say, I was part of that, and I perpetuated that thinking. And I mean, they didn't do things to help. Like, let me show you this. This for me was the quote-unquote evidence that SA Dota 2 is the fucking worst, right? So we see this poll go up, because obviously there's a lot of discussions in SA Dota 2. This guy is racist. Why are you shaming the racist, the whole shebang? So somebody was like, let me do a poll. Let's see what the majority thinks. As you can see, the majority, where do I point in the camera? Oh, okay, there. Thinks that, you know what, racism shouldn't be dealt with, bro. Let us sit here in our fucking white privilege and just be happy. We can say K-words, we can do whatever we want, but don't you tell us we can't do that. Invades on our fucking free speech, man. And yeah. So that's the common sentiment. I read this and I was like shook. Initially, I was like, what? Did they just prove to us that they're racist? But then it was just yesterday, actually. I thought and I was like, but SA Dota 2 is actually ahead of the rest of the scene. Hear me out. The difference between SA Dota 2 and the rest of the fucking South African esports and gaming scene is that we actually willing to have the conversation. Now, a lot of the contributors, the majority of the contributors, mind you, say the wrong fucking things, like popcorn munching and mute and move on and fucking you deserve, like literally, actually the most disgusting thing I ever seen was in Snare's thread he made like a few weeks back. And it was like people, they're literally telling him, you deserve to be called the K-word. Wow. Like, genuinely, wow. That's what I have to say. It's fucking wild, right? So it is the Prytz in a lot of ways. But the fact that we're there having that conversation already puts us 1,000 miles ahead of the rest of the scene. Because I guarantee you, KC guarantee you that it's exactly the same in every other scene. I mean, COD recently blew up, right? With Bonnie going on E! News, or was it ESNWC? I don't know how to say it, but I mean, she blew up. She actually made it to the news. More than 50,000 views on the Facebook video, plus the YouTube video and shit. And I just want to say, before I even carry on to this, Bonnie, you have done a service for the scene. One of the greatest accomplishments yet. I know being called a hero in the scene is a bit of a questionable thing, because I mean that would put you in same company with Luca Taconi, and you don't want to be that. So yeah, I won't use the word hero, but man, oh man, you did some good shit there. So yeah, that was that. But back to what I'm thinking. Sorry, I'm going fast. There's a lot of things in my head, right? In the COD scene, this shit happens, right? People saying they wish she got raped by her father, like racist shit, much more sexual assault things, disgusting shit, like absolutely fucking disgusting shit. And I'm gonna put a caveat here before I carry on. I'm titling my videos around racism and such, but it's really injustice in the scene. It's toxicity, it's bullying, it's harassment, it's discrimination, whatever you want to fucking call it. The fucking barriers that anybody who isn't white and has a dick has to put up with is what I'm talking about right now. I'm gonna focus on the racism aspects because, well, I'm just a brown guy. I don't know the fucking experience the way women would know, like a Bonnie or even Jenifer on the Facebook group wrote a great post. I mean, the work is getting done there as well. But for now, I'll just talk about what I know about, like, fucking racism, right? So yeah, so that shit happens at Bonnie. You guys can go watch the video. It's linked down in the description about her on the E! News, the things that were said, etc. And if I look at the conversations that were had around that in like the ZAGAs and shit, I don't know where the Call of Duty main discussions were had, but that shit was putrid. I mean, a guy literally called Holden a C-word for just even trying to like slither into the conversation in the ZAGA group, like a long post. He had like 60 likes. I was flabbergasted because, you know, I'm coming from the background of like, Dota 2 is the worst, right, guys? There's nothing fucking worse than SA Dota. Isn't that what they told us? Isn't that what I said? Isn't this what the scene has been telling us for so long? Dota's the worst. It only happens in Dota, right, guys? I mean, Counter-Strike motherfuckers are lucky that they don't have their API checked the way we can in Dota, is all I'm saying. But yeah. So that happened. I look at the discussion there. Absolutely disgusting, right? I was going to have a lot to say about Call of Duty tournaments still happening in terms of, it's like a criticism that I was going to put out. Like I see Metal State hosting COD tournaments. I see ACGL did, and I was like, you guys never address these things, but you're hosting tournaments. But you know, I also did my due diligence, and actually it was a 50-50 thing. ACGL came to talk to me. I went to go talk to them, both Nick and Clint. And I know they're doing shit. They've spoken to Bonnie about this. They've got things in the pipeline. They're doing things in the back end that we never thought about doing before. Something's happening there. If we look at Metal State, sure, they never directly responded to what happened with Bonnie and shit. But, look at what they've done now. They gender-based violence, charity streams and shit. They raised like 55K, bro. That is fucking insane. Congratulations to them. This scene can do good shit when it wants to, right? We're acknowledging this. This is the common fucking theme we're seeing now so far in this 10 minutes of this video. It is. My thing is though, I didn't use the word but it did come out like a but, is that we can be doing more. Some of my criticism from the last video was directly towards the leaders, right? I mean, Barry, I just spoke about Metal State now doing a great job at the moment. I mentioned Tech Girl, I mentioned Darren, who I again spoke about. And I think when it comes to leaders failing in the scene, I don't have a better example right now than to show you this right here. I mean, you guys must have seen it already. Here's a chat from the Norwin Gaming CSGO thing, whatever, the league. This happened, so it happened, and there's obviously you guys know Norwin Gaming is okay, I'm just gonna leave this here. I don't have to see my face in my OBS. Norwin Gaming is owned by Indian guys. The production and the panel and all of that is in India. I mean, they're a new TO in South Africa. The panelists for Norwin for the entire broadcast is 2 guys doing like 6 games, which is really impressive, mind you. And they were on the panel for the CSGO, and they said, I mean, they pronounced it Vito instead of Vito, like with the accent. And apparently, Warren Barfhazen, thinks that the accent is really funny. Let's mock it by typing funny shit in chat. Now in isolation, this thing's not so bad. Like you see Vito in chat, like what's the big deal, right? It's like how about distasteful, but we don't really care. But I think the best description I heard about thoughts around ATK Arena's fucking owner saying this is that, you know, I'm gonna quote my friend here. He was like, you know, shit gets said in chats and whatever. I'm a toxic guy myself, whatever. That shit happens, right? But let's just say I own the company and I hired somebody to do my social media, etc. for me. And I go see that person in a live stream in public using their real name as a representative of this company, typing shit to make fun of people's fucking accents that come from their ethnicity. That guy's gonna lose his job, right? And I just started laughing. I was like, this is a really good description. I'm fucking copy pasting and stealing this because that's the reality. And now this guy's a fucking owner. Imagine he's an owner of a fucking TO, right? Probably the largest TO right now in terms of what they're doing. TO, store owner, fucking team owner. Just a guy who literally is so fucking stupid. He put pictures of him holding money on his Twitter. That's how he came into the scene. So already we had an inclination this guy was an idiot. But now he feels so comfortable in the scene to fucking go and mock people for their accents coming from a different place in the world. Like, disgusting. Absolutely fucking disgusting, right? And for me, I can tell you my personal experience when I saw this. I casted, that was the opening night of the Mzansi League. I was casting the FIFA at 6 o'clock. Epic match. 9 o'clock, I had no power. I was on my phone using my data. I wanted to watch the CSGO. I tune into the stream. And the first fucking thing I see is Warren, the piece of shit, being racist to my people. Right? And I was like, I can't enjoy this for 2 fucking seconds, can I? I was on a high, right? Me and Snare were crying that we only had 1 FIFA game to cast. We could go the all night. It was only 30 minutes. And after 9 o'clock, I was like, why the fuck do I bother with this shit, right? Why do I bother when this is the fucking people? Imagine I was a CSGO cast and I must hype this motherfucker's team games. I would be in shambles, dude. I would feel disgusting, right? because I know how this guy is. This is how the guy. You see. The thing is. I'm talking fast. This video. Is that when we see, as people of color, when we see the Warrens of the world type Weeto in chat, right? It's not just the Weeto, because obviously that's what we see, whatever. But it's so many fucking things that every day. Actually, wait. Here's a good thing. Here's a good thing to explain why this is an issue. You guys don't know you guys don't want to know what I titled this screenshot here in my OBS. Look at this guy's post, right? So all the racism shit, conversations get had or whatever in SA Dota. This guy posts this shit. Okay, so you look at it. Look at it. Good morning, whatever. Basically, you can read this thing in your own time. Pause the video now. Read that shit. I'm gonna close it because I want to see my face in OBS. Come on, guys. Don't be a hater. Basically, what this motherfucker is saying is that, guys, gaming is a break. Gaming is an escape. I just want to come on and play Dota 2 and just have some fun. And you know what, man? You're goddamn fucking right. Nobody deserves to log into the Dota 2 server and be called a fucking K-word or a curry muncher or get told if you're a woman that you're gonna get raped by your father. Nobody fucking deserves that, right? That's just facts, But now, that was not the issue you had, right? Let's open this thing up again. The issue you had was that people are getting told that, and you from the fucking sidelines feel offended that you have to see it. It just breaks the illusion of your endless fucking, think about how deep your privilege has to run to think that people talking about their traumas is a fucking violation on you. I mean envy, I mean awe, motherfucker. I'm genuinely, the fact that you live in this lala fucking land is great, man. It's honestly great. Good for you, you dumb motherfucker. Alright? So, I was going to tie it into this. Oh yeah, that's what I was trying to say. The point that this guy is making is that we come on and we also want to game and have fun. And when I say we, I mean people of color, black people, Indian people, women, etc. We also want to enjoy gaming. Gaming's for everybody, right? We saw Henry Cavill build a fucking PC and he's like super buff, good looking dude and shit. Gaming is supposed to be for everybody. But why is it that only certain demographic, these white young men, can come in and play and they allowed to make jokes about our fucking race and use racial slurs and shit, and they can have fun, whatever, and we're not even allowed to be vocal about it, let alone say, don't even give us the chance to say, this is wrong, please stop, we also want to have fun too. I mean, it's just fair. I'm asking y'all watching this in chat, right? I know my people of color out here saying, yeah, nodding their heads, and I do feel comfortable to say that I feel like I got my peeps out here supporting me also. I don't feel like I'm speaking alone anymore, which is great fucking progress. God damn, I'm happy about that shit. But at the same time, I know also the white brata and my allies, right, are also there nodding their heads and shit. But now y'all are sitting here in the middle like, this guy saying white all the time. Do I really want to support him? He swears a lot. He fucking, he's just a jackass. Do y'all think this is okay? You moderates sitting here like in the 50-50s watching this. Do you think it's okay, right? Think about your gaming experience. Think about mine. Think about Bonnie's. Think about Snare's. Is it okay that your experience gets to be different to ours? Is it okay? Is that okay for you, right? That's what I'm asking. If the answer is yes, then close this video and move the fuck on. You're not the demographic. But if you think, even if it's just a slither of inclination that this is problematic, then stick around, motherfuckers. Let's have this conversation. Because, again, I'm coming off a cast. 5 fucking seconds. 5 seconds later, I have to see this shit from a leader of the scene. A quote-unquote leader of the scene. Once again, vehemently fucking failing us, right? Something you get used to. Something you get used to. Now, I was upset about that at the time. But then, a few days later, I got a chance to feel, I don't know what's the right word, but feel better. Let's just use plebeian terminology and just say I felt better. Because I see my man Trevor Morley, fucking Kani, 5k MMR Dota player, great CS player, saying, listen, yeah, nothing like opening up a Norwin stream and seeing fucking owners of South African orgs make fun of Indian people's accents. And I was like, check this comrade. He's out here ripping for us. He's out here saying that this shit isn't okay. This guy, one of our top players, being vocal about absolute fucking garbage, about nonsense, about things we should never tolerate. There should never be a day where Warren feels okay saying that fucked up shit in chat, right? Never, never, never. Obviously, if I look at other leaders in the scene, Extremes, Glenn, Prophecy, me, all tweeting about this shit, and it's like, y'all think I'm gonna be here like hyping up my friends and stuff. The funny thing is when they all tweeted about this shit, I expected it. It wasn't a surprise when I see Extremes, Glenn, whoever tweeting. I know it's coming because this is always what they do, right? And it's not a case of now I'm hyping up my friends, we the good guys or anything. No, not at all. Let me tell you from personal experience. Maybe I never did this in the best way at times also in terms of execution, but I've spoken up about a lot of fucking shit in the scene, injustices, right? And I can tell you for a fact, I've not been rewarded for that shit. In fact, I've been severely punished. Do you ever think about why I wasn't casting last year at the 2019 Masters? Was it because I was a worse talent than all the motherfucking bozos on there? Not a chance. Not a chance. Forget even me. And I actually took my L. I was pretty rude to VS Gaming last year in my video about the whole casting debacle, right? You don't have to hire a guy who's calling you guys business shit. That's fair play. But the fucking beef run, the pettiness runs so deep in the scene that Damien, who was the top analyst the year before by far as a co-caster, and even that same year last year, he did a great job at rush casting with Snare, they didn't hire him. They didn't hire him to work. Is he now a worst analyst because I'm an asshole? Like, what is this fucking mind-boggling. So basically, what I'm trying to say here, guys, to the point of, I'm not trying to hype up my friends here, the Carmels, the Extremes, the Glens, the whatever. I'm trying to say, I don't want to do this. I genuinely don't want to be saying, oh, this one fucked up, oh, this one is racist, because it doesn't benefit me. I get fucked every time. But the fact of the matter is, I have to do it because who the fuck else, right? Like, there's a lot of people being vocal now. So it's not even just who the fuck else. But the thing is, for me also, like, I actually spoke to one of, again, my white comrades, out here repping for us. And he was like, and I was like, yo, dog, I really appreciate this solidarity, And he was like, he wasn't having any of it. He was like, straight up, dog, this shit is just wrong. You can't deal with it. And that's kind of how I am. I can't actually blame anybody for any work and shit I lost. Even though I think it's bullshit at times, but I can't, because the fact of the matter is, I never lose a night's sleep for being rude, for talking about racism, players not getting paid, all that shit, because I'm not working. Because, okay, firstly, I have the privilege to not need the money and stuff from esports. I still leech off my dad like a piece of shit. But also, I can't keep quiet. I don't have a bone in my body that knows how to shut the fuck up, right? I'm not saying it's the same for Extremes, Glenn, or whatever, but I can't. And the thing is, I wish I could, and I wish I never needed to speak up, right? If there wasn't these issues, I wouldn't need to. And if we see in terms of leadership speaking up, again, who was the people? Okay, Trevor, from his player's perspective, comrade, out here, my man. Casey, Extreme, Sargon, Glenn, Prophecy with the retweet with the cloud faces. And I'm like, I've heard these names speak about many things before. I expect it. This is the norm. But where's the rest? I mean, last week I was criticizing TechCo because when the real racism went down, remember last year when ACG and Maji, they were only the bad guys, right? Only them. Those two players in isolation were the bad guys. Again, what we should worry about, the brands, guys. I told you so. The brands don't want to see this shit. And I was like, okay, that's a year past. Then I look at this Warren shit, and I look at Trevor out here being vocal, 34 likes and things. And not one of those likes came from TechCo. TechCo was very, very, very happy to write about Trevor, bad boy, joining Goliath Gaming, hyping up this irrelevant gaming shit we all do. But when it's fucking bullshit, nobody says anything. The leadership is zip quiet. And do you blame them, guys? 80K is a brand. They're a brand. Lots of money coming through for Warren. We saw on his Twitter photos. Is this okay? Are y'all gonna accept this shit? Like, this is my thing from the community. I think community is stepping up right now. Community is stepping up right now. Industry is doing some right things. Like we spoke about Metal State with the gender-based violence streaming initiative. ACGL are doing shit. Like, conversation is, I know from the binary scenes, I know conversations are happening because I'm fucking having them, right? But industry needs to step up. Community is doing our part. We can obviously do more. We can obviously do more as community. But industry needs to step up. I think when I was going to record this video, I had 105 ideas to put in place for like legit procedures, movements we can start, etc. But that's not what I'm trying to achieve in this video. That video is going to come later. Don't worry. Right now, what I want to drill into our heads is that we, people of color, have a fucking voice. You white allies who are out here ripping for us and for yourselves and for a better fucking scene have a voice. We see it with Trevor right here, right? We also get to decide what's okay and not okay for ourselves. So we, like, if the VS Gamings or the Metal States or the ACGLs or the Nodwins or whatever fuck up vehemently, like let's say with the ACGL thing, the ACG and Muzzy thing last year, where Barry had to go and fucking tell VS Gaming, listen here, if you don't fucking ban this guy here from your tournament after I banned him, you fucking everything up. For the people of color, for me as the tournament organizer, for everything. You had to go and fucking tell these motherfuckers, don't fuck this up, right? So when people are trying to fuck this up, what are we gonna do? Are we just gonna accept this shit? And I'm not saying, like, in a case of, like, we need to cancel motherfuckers and shit. Because I'm gonna be straight up with y'all. These people, a lot of the people I criticize here, do a hell of a lot more than me in the scene. Like, they work harder, they do better content, they do other shit. Like, they deserve to be where they are. But at the same time, we cannot accept just them doing, like, there's a more to life than lining your own pockets. I'm gonna give another good example here. Like, this is a funny fucking story. Actually, when I thought about it, this is what I was mad about after I recorded the last episode, because this memory came back to me and I was like, holy shit, this is actually pretty fucked up. Last year I was casting at Rush. I was casting FIFA, fucking slaying it. Okay, first day was garbage. Second day was a bit better. Third day I had fun. Third day was good. But I had fun regardless. Even though I was garbage first day, I had fun the whole tournament. I was at Rush. I'm there. I was waiting for one of the games to start. I'm talking to Prigan, photography guy. You know, Headshot Hustle, the fucking legend, the G. Love you, man. And then a certain member of the COD community walks up to us, comes to talk to us and things. I don't know how the topic of my podcast came up. And this person looks me dead in the eye and is like, your podcast is toxic. Everything you guys do there is toxic. And I was like, whoa, yo, that's rough. You know, that's rough. And I from some reason, if you've ever listened to our podcast, especially in the heydays, like back in the day, the Esports Central podcast in its prime, yo, we could have been toxic at times, I could say. Like we could say, like, you know, we could be rough, we could be meme things, we could belittle things. We had like a circle jerk going with like roasting shit, you know, we fight with each other. But then I thought, now I was like, wait, at what point did she call it toxic? When was Rush last year? Counting the mounts and shit. I was July, our most recent episodes, the things we were being critical of was ACG and Muzzy getting caught for racism and getting banned. And I was like, yo, talking about racism is toxic. Talking about players getting paid is not getting paid is toxic. Talking about fucking Luca being a snake piece of shit, toxic. Scamming kids of their money. Don't worry, Bonnie, we're not putting you in that same hero category. You safe? You fine still? And I was like, yo, this is rough, right? I was like, okay. And I was like, but you know, some ways we are toxic. But now I do have a rebuke. I was like, okay, all right. We did a lot of good things. We are funny in a way in terms of how we do things. But then I was like, who else spoke about all that shit? I mean, Tekko was worried about what did the brands think, right? She never spoke about this shit. This person who's telling me I'm toxic has never spoken about anything, like, even with a semblance of fucking spice ever. Well, publicly at least. Maybe behind the scenes, you know, she was doing shit in the COD community. Maybe she's put a ban on these, on these players in the tournaments and stuff behind the scenes. And if that's the case, take your gold star. But now the funniest part of the story, the punchline of it, is that after calling the thing toxic and calling fighting against racism, etc., toxic, etc., all those things, this person jumps on my podcast. Come talk about the tournaments and shit. It's like, yeah, guys, have me again to talk about other things. It's like, shameless, man, shameless. And in a way, respect to these people. They're out here hustling and grinding. Again, way harder than I am. I cannot compete. But at the same time, like, yo, is this the standard we're gonna accept? Like, are people is people lining their pockets the thing, the first and foremost we are going to support. And I'm not saying line in the pockets that people are making big bucks from esports. That's not what I mean. But like, you know, the clout, the reputation, furthering the career, all that stuff is definitely part of it. And I was like, you know, I was thinking about this, and I was like, maybe I'm expecting too much from, you know, okay, these are white characters from the racism side, but just generally not enough gets said about things in general. I was like, maybe it's too much. Like, how can I ask people to fight for my struggles or our struggles or other people's struggles? Then I remembered. I had a great memory, and I just remembered the other day I was going through my Instagram, and there's this OnlyFans model I follow who has I will just be straight up, has a much larger following. It's like probably exponentially, like put the entire esports industry together and like 10 times larger than that. And I put forward that the content's a much more meaningful content as well. And this person, when Black Lives Matter started, a white person, mind you, tweeted for a whole week, every single Instagram story, the 13 that she used to post every day, was all about Black Lives Matter, about standing in solidarity, about we need to do better. And I was like, you know what? We can expect more. We actually can expect more. People can do better. And that's kind of what the kind of point I'm trying to hammer home today is that, sure, things get done. Like, I'm also happy now to think, like, if I look at the conversations happening now around this racism thing in the back end, right? Talking to some players, seeing what the general sentiment and things around it. I sold myself and my comrades, Sargon, Glenn, etc. a bit short last week when I was like, we did fuck all, we did no difference. I mean, that's how I felt in the last video, but we actually did. I see the conversation progressing. There's something in the air, guys. I'm telling you, there's something in the air right now where people are sick and tired of the shit we've been putting up with this entire time. We know we can do better. It's just about actually doing it. Now, it's kind of more or less what I have to say today. There's no big drama. There's nobody I have to really hammer and go into like Facebook posts. I mean, I meme some shit here. But this is not about any of that. It's not about, like, again, I have other plans going into the future about movements and, you know, maybe hashtags and shit. Tournament policies and things like the things are in the work. The conversations are being had. But right now, that's not what I'm trying to do at all. The only thing I'm trying to do here is to make you guys see, y'all, people watching this video, members of the community, the TOs, the fucking talent, anybody, to realize that they have a voice. You genuinely have a voice, right? And let's use it. Let's use it for a better cause. Like Middle State did with hosting a gender-based violence charity stream. Like I'm doing, trying to talk about racism. Like many other people are doing. Like, people are doing good shit out here. Let's put this at the first and forefront instead of just general, you know, Trevor Pad Boy in Goliath Gaming now. I mean, sure, that content is good. That content is important. I mean, that's what it is. That's what esports is right now. But I do interject and say that that's not what it is for everybody right now. That's what it is. If you're white and you're a dude, go for it. Have your fun. Like, don't care about the K words, whatever, mute and move on. But for us, this is not okay. The way the scene is right now is not okay. And I don't think it should be okay for y'all either. It took me 3 years to realize this. I don't know if you guys are going to get here. Maybe different. Maybe it'll be better. I don't know. My fellow brethren watching this. But yeah, it just ain't okay, man. It just ain't okay. We can do better. We genuinely can do better. I feel like there was one more example I was going to give to, like, tie shit together. Let me look at the notes. Fuck, I don't know. Oh, yes. Holy shit, there's such a big part of this video I forgot. This was like the most thing I was impressed with. Okay, let me explain why I hammer characters, even though they're not doing anything wrong themselves, but still I'm criticizing them here. Is that it's very simple. Let me explain to you guys the status quo. The status quo in a gaming friendly way. If you're playing CSGO, right, you have the racists on one team and the fucking non-racist, anti-racist, whatever on the other team. The people getting called the K word on the other team. Let's use this as the fucking example. Every single round gets played. The racists get 5 kills. They shoot headshots. Bam, bang, bam. They got the orbs. They got everything. They got full armor, buys, the whole shebang. Racists are running, the people getting called K words are running in with their pistols, getting shot every round. Racists kill 5 guys. A pistol guys, you know, us people, the curry munchers, coming in, shooting 1-2 guys in retaliation. We're gonna lose that round every time, right? Because 5 of us die, and maybe we get 1 or 2 of them. Like, that guy's good. They're gonna win that round. They're gonna win the next round because they're killing 5, we're killing 2. They're gonna win the following round. It's gonna be 3-0, 4-0, 5-0. It's gonna get to 16 rounds very shortly, right? And there's literally nothing that we can do if we only killing 2 motherfuckers, right? No matter how chilled out the outsiders are, no matter how, like, if you're just watching the game from the outside, if you're chilling there, it's like, yeah, no, I would never say the K words like this guy who's 30 bombing right now. I would never do that. Props to you for doing the bare fucking minimum, like, just be a good person. But also, it doesn't affect anything, my friend. The curry munchers are getting shot left, right, and center. Yeah, we're losing every round. That's the status quo. If you don't take an aggressive, if you don't actually try to do something to change it, if you just sit back and be like, you know what, it's okay, I'm not like that, I'm different, you know, I'm not that kind of girl, I'm not that kind of person, I'm good in my private life, doesn't change the status quo at all. The status quo is a very simple thing. Racism is a complicated topic. Sexism, all these things go, they super complicated. I'm not a slither enough qualified to go into that kind of shit. But the status quo is very simple. You're either for the status quo or you are against it. There's nothing more to it, motherfuckers. And that's the thing I want you all to think about going into this thing. Because currently, what is the status? Ooh, fuck, my filter. Jesus. The hand animation is just getting too much, even for my filter, guys. Feel bad for my tech. What was I saying? That's the situation. The status quo is simple. 5 rounds the racist wins, 2 rounds at best the fucking curry munchers win. And if you, this is just facts right now. There's one thing I won't debate here, even though I'm willing to debate many things if you ask people, is that is the status quo. This is how things are right now. If you don't understand that, thinking about the context of South Africa, the context of esports, the context of like so many things, then I don't know what's going to help you. The CSGO analogy I use, I think, is pretty simple. You understand it. I think after watching this video, the only hard claim I'm going to make is that you know this. You know how the status quo is now. If you didn't know prior, okay, fair game. But right now, you know. I'm telling you, if you shut the fuck up from the sideline, just enjoying fucking ACG gunning me down there. Sorry, ACG, I know you're making your redemption arc and things, but it's good for the memes. Then you're part of the issue, man. You're straight up part of the issue. Let's be better, guys. Let's be better. Thank you all for tuning in to the second episode. I'm sure there's something I fucking missed here. I know it. I'm pretty sad about it. But it is what it is. We're gonna do better. Oh. Last thing I want to say. Alright, it's all talk so far in this video. It's all talk so far. And the only thing I will say to end this video, I think I said it like 60 times already, is that give it, like, right now I'm just talking in general about the mentality, etc. But a time's gonna come where we're gonna need to step up. Sometime it's gonna happen. And I hope it's better than the last time. Thank you all for listening today. That's it for me. Goodbye. Before you leave, a few tidbits. I remembered after watching the video again, this is my last edit and the only edit I'm making to this thing. Check out the description below. I made some corrections for a couple of things I said. Remember, I record off the cuff and things, so all the things I say is not 100% going to be correct, speaking out of my brain, but I made corrections where I saw, and I linked to a couple of resources as well. So please go check those out. Thank you all for tuning in again. Till the next one. Bye.